Let me ask you something. If your best competitor called you tomorrow and told you they just found a way to do in 2 hours what currently takes your team 2 days, what would you do? Would you ask how? Would you find out what they'd changed? Would you move quickly to close the gap? Of course you would. Every leader in that situation would. So why, when that exact thing is happening right now, across every sector, across every function, across businesses exactly like yours, why are most leaders still watching from the sidelines? That is the question I want to sit with today, because something dropped this week that makes it more urgent than ever. I'm RFD. This is AI for the Boardroom. New here? Go to aifortheboardroom.com right now. Every episode, every resource, every framework lives there. Free, built for you. Go bookmark it and come back. Let's go. This week, Anthropic, one of the most serious AI companies on the planet, released a significant upgrade to their AI, Claude 4.7. And I want to talk about what it actually means. Not the version you'd read in a tech publication, the version that matters to you running a business. 3 things changed that are worth your full attention. The first is about finishing what it starts. Previous versions of this technology were impressive but unreliable on complex work. They'd handle part of a task and then stop, need a human to step in and carry it over the line. For anything genuinely multi-step, the kind of work your business runs every single day, that meant a person was always babysitting it, watching, waiting for it to stumble. That's gone. The new version pushes through complexity. It doesn't stall. It doesn't ask to be rescued. It completes the job. That single change from a tool that assists to a tool that delivers is the difference between experimenting with AI and actually deploying it. The second is about sight. This model can now read documents, contracts, invoices, photographs, diagrams, and complex visual information with 98% accuracy. The previous version managed 54%, in one release that jumped to 98%. In plain English, there is almost nothing your business produces on paper or screen that this technology cannot now read, understand, and extract value from, accurately, every time, in seconds. And the third, it reviews its own work before handing it back, catches its own errors, corrects itself before you ever see the output. The quality and consistency of what comes back has stepped up significantly as a result. All of that, same price as before. Now here is the moment I want you to really pay attention to. Claude 4.7 is not Anthropic's best work, not even close. Behind this model, sitting in what is essentially a controlled vault, is something called Mythos, a model so capable that Anthropic has made a deliberate public decision not to release it. They've handed it quietly to a small group of selected organizations working on specific high-stakes projects. Everyone else, including every competitor in your sector, is using the publicly available version, which is, by Anthropic's own admission, less capable than what they've actually built. Let that land for a second. The most powerful AI available to any business anywhere right now is already the runner-up. The thing that beats it exists, it's just not available yet. And the runner-up, what you and every competitor can access today, is already transformational for most businesses, most of whom aren't using it properly. That gap between what AI can do and what most organizations are actually doing with it is where your competitive advantage either gets built or gets lost. Right now, this year, in the decisions you make in the next few weeks. Here's the rhythm you need to understand. A meaningful capability upgrade, not a minor tweak, a genuine step change, roughly every 6 to 8 weeks. That has been the pace of this industry for the last year. It is not slowing down. If anything, it is accelerating. Which means the question is never going to be, is the technology ready? The technology is always going to be getting better. The question is your organization learning fast enough to keep up with it? And right now, for most businesses, the honest answer is no. So let me give you something to do. Right now, today. Not a strategy exercise, not a planning session. Something real that takes 10 minutes and changes how you see this. Open your calendar. Look at next week. Find the single meeting, just one, that you know, if you're honest with yourself, is mostly a reporting exercise. Numbers being read out, slides being talked through, information being transferred from one person to a room full of people who could have read it in 5 minutes. You know the one. Every leader has one. Now ask yourself, what if every piece of information in that meeting arrived in your inbox the night before, already synthesized, already flagged for the things that need attention, already formatted for the conversation you actually need to have? What would that meeting look like then? What would your team be doing with the hour instead? That is not a future scenario. That is what an agent running on the latest models can do for that meeting, that workflow, that function. Right now, that is your entry point, not a technology project, not a business case, just that meeting, that report, that workflow that everyone endures every week because nobody has stopped to ask whether it has to work that way. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth I want to put in front of you. Most leaders hear this and feel it. They get it, they nod, and then they go back to their inbox, and the moment passes. And I understand why. Because the day-to-day pressure of running a business is relentless. There is always something more immediate, something more urgent, something that needs your attention right now. But here is what that pattern costs you in this specific moment. The organizations that are learning right now, that have people actively running AI on real workflows, figuring out what works, building operational knowledge, those organizations are compounding. Every week of learning builds on the last. The knowledge accumulates, the capability grows, the confidence to scale increases, and the organizations that keep meaning to start are falling behind a compounding curve. Not dramatically, not in a way that shows up tomorrow, but quietly, gradually, in the speed and quality and cost of decisions, until one day the gap is visible and closing it feels impossible. You cannot buy your way out of a learning gap. You can only learn your way out of it. And learning takes time, which means the time to start is always earlier than it feels comfortable. So here's what I want from you before this episode ends. That meeting you just identified, the reporting one, the information transfer one, I want you to send one message today to whoever owns the data that feeds it. The message is 4 words. How is this built? That's it. 4 words. Because until you understand how the information in that meeting is assembled, how many hours, how many people, how many manual steps it takes to produce, you cannot see the opportunity. And once you do see it, you cannot unsee it. One message today, 4 words. How is this built? And then go to aifortheboardroom.com because everything you need to take that answer and turn it into action is there. Frameworks, guidance, practical tools built for leaders, not technologists. That's aifortheboardroom.com. Use it. Share it with your leadership team this week. Here is where I want to leave you. This week, the AI available to your business got meaningfully better. Documents read with near-perfect accuracy. Complex work completed without stalling. Outputs that catch their own errors. And behind it all, the most powerful AI ever built is sitting in a vault, not yet released, while the second-best version sits on your desktop waiting to be properly used. The pace of change is not slowing down. The learning gap is not getting easier to close. And the businesses building capability right now are doing it quietly, without announcements, in the daily rhythms of how they work. You found the meeting. You're sending the message. 4 words. That is how it starts. The window is still open. Your move. I'm RFD. This is AI for the Boardroom. For more support, more guidance, and everything you need to lead through this, go to aifortheboardroom.com. It's all there. Free. Built for you. Hit follow on Spotify. Share this today with one person on your leadership team who needs to hear it, and I will see you in the next one.